We thank you so much for all your service and your support for us here tonight. We thank you so much. Enjoy your star.
Nice. We didn't show it. I think we should show it.
Oh, you didn't? I didn't hold it up.
Yeah. Very nice.
Real copper. It's not silver or gold. Sorry. I'm also very honored to be and to know Don Henninger of the Phoenix Business Journal. And I think one of the things as we thought about what we do as an organization and citizen diplomacy, honestly, one of the first people I thought that represented a lot of the principles of what citizen diplomacy is Don Henninger, the publisher for the Phoenix Business Journal. And some of the things that came to my mind are, every week he writes this little piece in the Phoenix Business Journal, and honestly, I find it very inspirational, and I'm sure many of you also do in the same way. It's optimistic, it's realistic, it's open-minded, it's all the things that we think that we do with our international visitors in terms of keeping an open mind and also making progress. And so it's a really inspirational thing. And the other thing that I like and love about Don is he really values Phoenix and the Valley and what we have here. A lot of times, and those of us that have lived in other places, we always beat ourselves up about how bad things are wherever we live, right? It's like, oh, we're not like San Francisco, or we're not like New York, and we don't have this and we don't have that. And at the end of the day, the Valley is a pretty nice place, and it's a welcoming place. So I'd like to introduce Don Henninger to talk a little bit about, really, Phoenix is not a bad place, and it's a welcoming place. So Don, thank you very much for coming in tonight.
Thank you, Doug. I can certainly see now why you are so passionate and inspired about your new job as the president now and what this group is all about. I mean, it's really, I'd like to say that it's one of our community's greatest untold stories, but then we went and wrote a story about it last week, so I can't say that anymore. What I can tell you is I think that we're going to write a lot more. I think the more that business leaders in Arizona get to know what is going on here, what you guys are up to, I think more and more people will want to get involved just with the mission and what you do. It's pretty amazing. When I think about Arizona, how a unique fit it is that we're talking about emerging global leaders and building relationships across the world with emerging leaders. Because in many ways, Arizona is a melting pot of its own. None of us are from here for the most part. We're all from somewhere else. I've been here 30 years, so I feel like I'm a native Arizonan, but I'm from somewhere else too. But the one thing that I hear over and over and over again, and I was talking to people even last week about it, if you're a leader or if you're anybody else and you move here and you want to get involved and you want to do whatever it is to make this community a better place, whether it's your entrepreneurship and your business know-how, or whether it's your desire to get engaged in the community and make it a better place for everybody to live, this place is totally welcoming. You can get involved to the degree that you want to. A lot of the cities back east, you might assume leadership roles. If you're the fourth generation family, you might get admitted to that club where you can go make a difference. That's not that way here. All you got to do here is come and raise your hand and say, I'd like to make a difference on that cause. And soon you'll be making a difference on that cause. So it's a land of great opportunity. You're right, I'm optimistic here. I've had 30 years of sitting on a newspaper man for 30 years, sitting in the front row of everything unfolding around me, so I've seen so many good things. And when I think of our welcoming spirit, and I think of how that's the real Arizona, and when I think of what you guys do, and you bring emerging leaders from across the world to get a chance to experience the real Arizona, what a great message to leave for everybody. And I appreciate, Doug, you saying the fact that we beat ourselves up too much, because that's the real image, that's the real Arizona that we have. We're welcoming, we're tolerant, we're entrepreneurial. This is perhaps the best small business climate in America. It's just a great place to live and do business, and a great place to come if you want to make a difference. So if we can leave that spirit with all those who come visit with us, even just briefly, what a great message to leave for all of the world, for those who come see us. And I just hope that it's a message that we remember about ourselves as well. And I'll be committed to continuing to remind us of how we may be a little bit better than we give ourselves credit for from time to time. And I can tell you I will do more and more, whatever I can, to tell Arizona and the Arizona business community about what great work the AZCIV does, and maybe we can get some more business leaders involved in this cause too, because it is most worthy, and I think it's aligned with exactly all of the values that we hold near and dear to Arizona. Welcoming, come here, make a difference, be a leader. It's a land of opportunity. So thanks so much for just allowing me to come here for a few minutes tonight, and thank you so much for all that you do to make AZCIV so successful and to make Arizona such a better place. So thank you very much.
I think we have a star for Don too, right? Oh, here it is. So, Don, thank you so much.
And it's local copper. That's the thing to remember.
That's right. Yeah, Freeport McMoran donated it.
Right. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. And thank you so much, Don. We really appreciate all that you do. We are at the end of the evening. And so wanted to do some thank yous to everyone. Dr. Sherry Mueller and Alma, thank you so much for coming out. We really appreciate all of your inspiring words. We had a team of people working on the event this evening, and I'd like to thank the main organizers. I didn't see Suzanne. Suzanne must be here somewhere. But Kyle Moyer and Suzanne, could you stand? Where's Suzanne? Oh, there's Suzanne. Thank you so much. Suzanne being with the Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and working with Glenn Hammer over there and doing some great work for our state. Of course, we've Sue Reiner. Could you also stand in, Marty, for all your work? And I'm guessing Wendy is she out here? Wendy Enderton. So Wendy works with Kyle. She's in backstage. She's been an amazing resource for us, and a round of applause for Wendy. So we would not be here without the help and the hard work by all these folks. And of course, we wouldn't be here without the U.S. State Department, Department of State, AZCIV, and all the work that you guys do. So thank you so much. You know, this organization's been here since 1964. And so this is a little bit of a re-coming out party. So we really appreciate all of you for coming out and participating in what we've done here. I wanted to leave you with a final thought that I got today from Dr. Craig Barrett. So many of you may not be part of this, but actually today and tomorrow there's a global business dialogue at Thunderbird. And it turns out it's the first time they've done this, and they invited a bunch of speakers, and they thought maybe a few hundred people would show up. Well, 1,200 people showed up, and they actually moved it over to the Renaissance Hotel in Glendale, and it's an amazing event. And Dr. Craig Barrett was the speaker today at lunch, and we were honored to have both Dr. Barrett and Ambassador Barbara Barrett as our speakers at our annual meeting just a few weeks ago. And they talked about citizen diplomacy. Dr. Barrett today had 3 things that he talked to us about that he had learned over the years from fortune cookies that he had gathered over the world. So 3 fortune cookies that basically were guiding posts to his life. He also then, when he talked about starting his presentation about these 3 fortune cookies, he said, you know, I'm not going to pull a Rick Perry here on these 3. I've got them written down. And I'm not going to give the 3. If you're interested in finding out what the 3 are, check out my Twitter account. But one of them, I think, is very applicable to us. and the words I'd like to leave you with tonight on representing our organization. And number 3 was this. This was apparently not a fortune cookie. He clarified it was actually words of wisdom he had gotten somewhere in Malaysia at his hotel. A small deed done is better than a large deed planned. A small deed done is better than a large deed planned. And that really hit home for me because, you know, the volunteers of this organization do a lot of small deeds. Yeah, we dream. Yeah, we do some dreaming, but the bottom line is when you're hosting an international visitor, you know, it's a small deed. But those small deeds are pretty amazing things. And some of the amazing things that I remember, 32 entrepreneurs from 32 countries that we had here in Scottsdale just a month ago, all Muslim. Somehow the State Department chose Arizona for this group of Muslims 2 years in a row. And, you know, we've had some amazing experiences with those two different groups over the last couple years. So small deeds, definitely recommend that you think about our group devoting a little bit of time, a little bit of talent, and if you can, a little bit of treasury to our organization to support what we think is a very important organization for the state of Arizona and for our country. So thank you so much. Think about doing a small deed, whether it's for our organization or just for our community. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.